everybody. Happy February 17th. It's Sean and Kelly here.
Sean?
I'm Kelly.
Start that one over.
No, let's just keep going. Okay.
All
So
right.
the hook today is 3 things your lender can and should do for you.
That's right. Okay. Item number 1 is get you a full approval. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a clarification on pre-qualification, pre-approval, blah, 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 all the letters that lenders give you. This is different. So whenever you are qualifying for a loan to buy a property, there are 2 things that have to be approved. You have to approve the buyer, the actual person, and then you have to approve the property. And there are lenders out there right now that are offering a full approval prior to the offer. So
it's a loan approval pre-offer.
yes, not a
It's
pre-approval.
not a pre-qualification. It's not a pre-approval.
That's right.
It's a full approval pre-offer.
That's right, full approval pre-offer. Okay.
That's not what they're calling it. That's what we're calling it. And it's amazing. All the underwriting is done for you. They're qualifying the buyer. All you have to do is find the property, which brings us to.
Well, first, let's say with the benefit. So the benefits,
sorry.
I'm going to cut all of that shit out.
Okay.
So the benefits to this is that you are almost like a cash buyer, depending on the property, of course.
Almost like a cash buyer.
But it does allow you to shorten your time frame on the settlement process, and it can allow you to possibly waive the finance contingency if you choose to.
But you can't waive the appraisal
Don't waive the
based on
appraiser.
that. I mean, you might for other reasons, but not based on that.
Yeah. So it does strengthen your offer quite a bit, and it takes some risk out of the seller's eyes because they know that you have a fully pre-approved.
Yeah, the seller
person.
knows. Okay, huge checkbox on the buyer, right?
Yep.
And you're the one applying. It's up to them to bring the goods in the home.
Yep.
You've brought the goods on the buying side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now can we
Okay.
go to 2? I'm
Item
sorry.
number 2. Yes.
Okay, 2. They can give you. Not everybody can. They can give you a full free 90-day lock and shop. Right?
Yes.
They can go ahead and lock your rate. This isn't something every lender can do.
Yes.
Some of them can, though. They don't have to wait and have you get under contract and everything else and see all that, and then lock your rate depending on what it might be that day or when they get into it. Sorry.
Dogs at the door. And some lenders will actually they'll give you the opportunity to lock your rate, but don't they charge points?
Yes.
So there's a fee for it. So, but there are lenders that will do it for free. So that's something to look for as well. And then item number 3, which is something that is fairly new that we've seen coming in this market. We have lenders.
Incentives vary. We're talking about incentives that are going on right now because the market is so hot.
Exactly.
Seller's market.
Yep. And lenders are getting competitive. And we have a lender right now that's offering a letter to the seller on your behalf that if they don't close on time, if they don't settle on time, they will pay the seller $10,000. Now, you don't get $10,000, but the seller would get $10,000. So from a seller's perspective, they could have a fully pre-qualified buyer.
Yeah.
They could have, they don't care about the rate lock, but they could have a letter that says if we don't close on time, they're going to get $10,000. So that gives you a lot of leverage in the negotiation process.
A ton of leverage. It takes all their big stressful question marks out. Not all of them, but most of them.
A lot of them, yeah, absolutely. So these are really valuable things. So if your lender doesn't give you these, reach out to us. We do have a lender that's actually offering all 3, and she's a fantastic lender. So reach out to us. We'll be glad to connect you with her. And then I know last week in the market report, I mentioned that we were hoping that the trend was going to continue that we saw, but we're about to get to the numbers, and the trend did not continue.
What did it do? Wait, give me a sneak peek. I don't stay here.
The inventory went down and buyer activity went way up. So we were in a strong seller's market this last week. Yeah. So let's get to the numbers so we can see what's going on. All right. Okay, so let's dive into the numbers here. So it's very, very interesting because the numbers are going to show something that is very, very dramatic compared to what we're actually kind of experiencing out in the market. And I'll get into that in a second, but I just want to let you know that we're kind of seeing 2 things happening in the market. We're seeing things, properties that are in really, really good shape, of course, are going very, very quickly with multiple offers. We're seeing most properties go with multiple offers, but unlike the mad rush of early 2022, we're not seeing all properties go with multiple offers. There are still some properties that are sitting for a little while, some properties that are kind of giving a little bit of an opportunity for buyers. So there are properties that have been out there for a couple weeks where there might be a little bit of an opportunity, but for the most part, Most properties, when they first come on the market, you've got to be prepared to pay full price at least, and be a little bit prepared for potential multiple offer situations. Okay, so let's dive into the actual graphs. Let's dive in and see what the numbers are telling us, and then you'll have a good idea about how to strategize as you go forward for the week. Okay, so buyer activity, as always, is the orange line. Inventory is the blue line. So as you can see for this week, buyer activity continued in its upward trajectory, which is what we expect for the spring. The big event for this week is look at the downward motion of inventory. We had a huge drop in inventory. So this upward motion of buyer activity and then this downward level of inventory creates this huge gap, which is what gives us a very, very strong seller's market right over here. So when you see a seller's market like this, you would expect every property to be going with multiple offer situation. So it's interesting how the market dynamic is playing out. It's matching along with what the numbers are doing, but it's not as dramatic as what the numbers are showing. And I think what's going to end up happening is we'll see this inventory will start to increase back up again over the next 7 days. Buyer activity is probably going to continue doing what it's doing, but inventory may go up or it may spike up and catch up to buyer activity. But I feel like this number is probably, if you follow the trend of what's been going on since here, it's been kind of a slow and steady upward trend. So I have a feeling that our strength of seller market is going to settle right around here in the next market report. So that's my prediction. We'll see if I can actually predict or not. But that is what I'm thinking is going to happen in the next 7 days. What I think is happening is actually, it is possible that we may see this inventory stay low for another week or two, because I know a lot of sellers are waiting for March, the official beginning of spring, to put properties on the market. So that may be what's happening here as well. We may see a little bit of a delay there. So we'll just have to see. We'll see what the market does over the next couple weeks. For sellers, again, if you're considering getting in the market, get in the market now while there's less competition, obviously a lot less competition. And buyers, come in prepared to spend at least asking price. Come in prepared to be competitive with your offers. If you're willing to look at properties that have been sitting on the market for a little while, you might have a little bit of wiggle room. We're not seeing prices come down from market value, but those properties that are still sitting there are probably overpriced for what their value is. So they're going to come down to market value. So you're not going to get a deal necessarily, but you may get a decrease on what the asking price is, if that makes sense. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know, and we will see you on next week's market report. Have a great week.